Hello and welcome to our 16th edition of The Edge, the final AM Takeover edition. I'm Alexis Burhans.
And I'm Isabel Lindquist. On this edition of The Edge, the first-year students continue our takeover of The Edge.
The marketing and DMA classes return from national conferences. We'll take you to California and Chicago.
Plus, students in collision repair start on the Autorama car for the 2025 show. But first, Attica is celebrating a big milestone this year. The Edge's Janelle Davidge has the story.
The Attica Center serves many students in education they can't receive at their home school. Students come from all the 5 school districts in Lapeer County. But how long have students been walking through the front doors and discovering their future careers?
At least 35 years.
I think like 20 years, honestly. It's been a long time, I think.
Like 40 years?
30 years.
As of June, Attica will be celebrating its 50 years of being opened, giving kids a hands-on work experience since 1974. Mr. Crawford was an instructor in the PSE classroom from 1981 to 2015. During that time, the class was called Recreational Vehicle Repair, or RVR.
I came here in 1981. The shop was about half the size it is now, so there's a lot of physical changes. We installed the dyno in the dyno room over here for testing motorcycles and so on. I've been gone for 9 years, and Mr. Thomas, who followed me up, is doing a fantastic job and directing the program, keeping it modern and active.
Mr. Thomas graduated in 2008 from Emily City High School, learning from Mr. Crawford. He is now the instructor of this class.
This class that I teach actually changed my hobby and turned it into a passion of mine. So I believe maybe it was '09 that they did the expansion, but they built onto this shop. This classroom was new in 2009, and that half of the shop was new in 2009. So I wish we had had that much room when I was a student here, because this building is awesome, and it changes a lot of people's lives and gets kids on the right path, and hopefully it's still around and this place is still kicking in 50 years.
Reporting for The Edge, I'm Janelle Davidge.
If you graduated from EdTech, or as many who went here before the 2000s still call it the Lapeer County Vocational Center, we would love to hear from you. Send us a message on Facebook or Instagram to @TheEdgeLC and tell us about your EdTech experience.
Recently, marketing and entrepreneurship students returned from DECA Internationals. The conference was held in Anaheim, California. This year's DECA event has the largest history with 25,000 students from all around the world. 2 seniors and 3 juniors attended this event.
I competed in leadership and teamwork at states. I got first in the state, and at DECA Internationals we did Ignite Academy.
I met a bunch of people that are interested in stuff like me and learned how to network and talk better publicly and stuff like that.
Students not only attended the Ignite Leadership Academy, but they also had some fun. They toured LA, went to Huntington Beach and the Santa Monica Pier, and they also got to go to Disneyland's California Adventure. 4 students from Digital Media Arts and ITNet just returned from the BPA National Conference in Chicago. The Edge's Abby Overmeyer tells us how they did.
Thank you. The National BPA Leadership Conference was held in Chicago over Mother's Day weekend. ITNet student Blade Holmes from Lapeer competed in the Linux competition.
I've been reading a Linux book and setting up a Linux computer. Linux is an operating system like Windows. It's free to the public and open source software that's been worked on by many people. Anyone can just grab a copy and start working on it.
Digital Media Arts had 3 students who competed in the Computer Animation Team event. The animation team had to make a 3D animation that was 2 minutes long and were able to choose which software they wanted to use.
We had to make it 2 minutes, and it had to be about a mystical forest with at least 1 talking animal and hidden treasures. We decided to take it more down a storyline than a lot of people, I'm assuming, did.
The process can be fun and rewarding for students, but it can also be stressful.
Very stressful, 90% of the times. There was a lot of times I wanted to throw my computer across the room because the application that we use is not a very easy application to use. It's used by a lot of pros in the graphic design industry.
Students not only competed, but got a chance to experience the city. They took public transit to travel out of the loop into some of the Chicago neighborhoods. On Sunday, they headed to the Logan Square neighborhood for dinner and got to see some iconic Chicago murals. On Monday, they spent time in the Wicker Park neighborhood where they did some thrifting. The computer animation team placed 6th at the national competition. Congratulations to seniors Ryan Kahn, Cooper Lynch, and Gabriel Steffler. I'm Abby Overmeyer reporting for The Edge.
The first year students in Careers in Ed have been learning about what makes a good lesson. The students worked with their mentor teachers at the local elementary and middle schools to create a lesson plan. Each student had to research the project and create something that would engage the students and then present it.
It feels really good that they're really enthused, with what they're doing. When I introduced it to them, they were like, "Oh yeah, we know what that is," and they were really happy. So it feels good.
This will continue to show students that teaching is harder than it looks. In March, the collision repair class showed a car at the Autorama car show in Detroit for the first time.
The class is now preparing for next year's competition. The Edge's Elizabeth Romero has the details.
This year, AM Auto Body and Collision students here at Attica get to work on the new car for next year's Autorama competition. Students say they have experienced hard challenges when working on the 1968 Pontiac Firebird.
The people who repaired the car before us, they used way too much filler on the car, and it's kind of making this a lot more of a process than it really needs to be.
Despite these challenges, students remain dedicated and help each other through each step. Students also learn more about what to look for when reconstructing for next year's Autorama.
The communication and the dedication from everybody in the classroom, and they all take a part, and I think that's a really big part of it, of everybody dedicating their time. So I think it's going to be a lot better year for us, knowing what to look for and what we did wrong last year compared to this year, and how we can fix it and improve our ability to make the car look a little better.
Instructor Miss Scotty is very proud of the students and plans to keep the tradition of participating in the Autorama for a goal of every 2 years.
So the nice thing about competing in Autorama is every student can participate in the build. They will get experiences of bodywork, fabrication, they will get experience with paint, prime, sealer, tear down, making sure they don't lose parts or bolts and staying organized. They will get to weld on this car. It covers every area of curriculum that we have taught in this program.
We wish the students well for this coming Autorama competition. Reporting for The Edge, I'm Elizabeth Romero.
That's all for this AM Takeover edition of The Edge.
Thank you so much for watching. You can keep up with us on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, and TikTok at The Edge LC.
And we are looking forward to the next year as we officially take over the Edge crew. I'm Alexis Burhans.
And I'm Isabel Lindquist, signing off until next year. Stay safe and have a great summer.